Welcome, Code Ninjas, to Computer Science Principles. This is Project 7.03. We're going to look at colors and styles in HTML to add a little salsa, some spice to our otherwise drab and tasteless web page. All right. So here's the document I'm keeping for the whole unit. We've done a basic web page. Let me pull mine up that I did in my first video. So here it is. Over here on the far right, you can open it in a new tab. So we learned how to make headings, basic text, paragraphs, hyperlinks. So I click on Force Awakens, it takes me to the Force Awakens page, things like that. Notice, let me open that page again. Notice the background's white. Looks like I have basically Times New Roman font. My hyperlinks by default are purple and underlined. So these are all things I can change using styling. And if you haven't done that lesson yet, that video is how to do it. And then here is some more background, I think, where I actually make that first page. And then the second lesson, we talked about images. So how to make an image, and then this follow-up video is where I complete it. So I started here and then complete it here. That page, close out these two because I don't need those anymore, is this document. So I use the img tag, which is image, and this is the just simple web page I made with 4 different images. 2 of them were linked to a link on the internet, and 2 of them, Doug and Kevin the Bird, were stored locally in my website, which is preferred. So anyway, that is the first 2 projects. Okay, what I'm going to do now, let me click on lesson 7.03, and this is what I've been working on. Okay, so basically, we're going to make a new project called HTML styles and color. Okay, and then we're going to basically style the background. We're going to style the headings, the paragraphs, the hyperlinks, and basically add color and fonts and that type of thing. Note this project 7.03, the content can be anything. In the next project, now that we have some skills, you're actually going to make like a real web page with some, real content. Okay, so let's see. Just so for this simple example, I'm doing page on Captain America and Iron Man, and I got some images queued up, ready to go because I'm going to add an image. Okay, so let's pull up this document that I've referred to in the last 2 lessons. This is the template that I've made. That way, the basic tags you don't have to type in. Okay, and if you're wondering what these are, you should watch the first video. Okay, so go ahead and fork it. Since this is my project, I have to fork it typing with pencil. Okay, so I'm going to turn off the files list, and notice I have the -1, so it's been forked. So CSP project 7.03 HTML styles and color. And my description, apply styling in HTML. Okay. All right, so I forked it. And here we go. Okay, so I'm going to drag this over a little bit. So project title, CSP project 7.03. I got my HTML tag, which means HTML code will be in between the opening and closing tags. The doc type is for the browser that this is an HTML document. Okay, in the head tag, the title is what appears in the browser's tab up at the top. So if I run this and open it in a new browser, notice up at the top it says style in the tab. So if you're wondering, do you think that would be the heading on the page? No, that's this is the body of the web page. The title appears in the tab. So too bad they didn't call that tab, but here it is. Okay, so here's my body. I'm going to add a heading 1 called Avengers. And notice in Replit, I just use heading 1, so when I type the angle bracket, it suggests close heading 1. So that's what I want to do. So I can just hit enter and it closes it for me. Notice my tabs were off. So I'm just going to hit some backspace through that. Okay, I'm going to do heading 2 for Captain America. So this can be anything on yours. Feel free to, so I'm going to hit enter to close that, add a space between those two words, and add a heading 2 for Iron Man. Okay. And let's see the paragraph. Paste in some info about Cap. Okay, that's that paragraph. And down here, some info about Iron Man. Okay, so, and white space in your HTML code is optional. It doesn't make any difference in the actual page. It's just for readability when someone's reading your code. Okay, so I have within my body an Avengers heading 1 tag, Captain America, and some information. So let me run this and notice it is, here's my heading 1, here's my heading 2 and heading 2, and then the paragraph is just some simple paragraph. Okay, there's a handy tag to center things. So within the body, the center tag is just center. Okay, and notice what I'm going to do is close it down here, and notice Replit, which is really nice, suggests that. So yeah, so let me run it now with the center tag and everything's centered. So generally you might want to center your information. In fact, in this project, I want you to practice using that center tag. And we found it's good to put it, see your body tag, which is the body of your page, put it right below body, and then to close it right before you close the body tag. That way everything, let me put a white space here, everything in your web page will be centered. Okay, and again, that's a style choice, but let's practice using center. Okay, now let's talk about color. So basically we want to use the center tag. So that's this. Now we want to add a background color, and then we want to add some color and stylings to these different tags and our hyperlinks. Okay. Let's see, before I style, let's get some info about Captain America. So like I did in the first video, I'm just going to copy this paragraph text. So Control C, and let me go to some information about Captain. Oops, let me substitute that in here. Boom. Okay. Let's see what that looks like now. All right. So there's some information. Okay, this is a little bit too much. I'm going to just turn this down, all the stars and stuff. Okay, boom. Yeah, so let me run that now. Okay, there's some stuff about Captain America. I'm going to add a couple BRs. Anyone remember what BR is? BR line breaks. So BR takes it to the next line. Second BR adds white space. So there is a little bit better. There's some information about Captain America. Okay. And let me add a hyperlink on this page. So Captain America, the First Avenger. Let's go down here to, I'm trying to figure out where best to put this. Okay, just to make it nice. I think what I'm going to do is just split up my text like this. Okay, notice in the code I added some line breaks, but when I run this, that makes no difference here. It's just for readability of my code. Now, here's where I'm going to add my hyperlink. So above the words Captain America, the First Avenger, I'm going to do a href equals quotes. I like to personally do that first so I remember to close it off. And then here I'm going to close that tag. Okay. And then I'm going to link to this Wikipedia page and paste it in here. Okay. So basically what should happen is these first few words in the paragraph should be now a hyperlink. And when I click it in the browser, it should link to this Wikipedia page. So let's take a look. And I'm going to open it in its own browser page. And notice, there we go. It is a hyperlink. Let me click on that, and the hyperlink works. Okay. Up here, actually the title, where it says style, I want to, yeah, this is called the style page. That was kind of bothering me when I brought it up. I'm going to make that also say Avengers. So let me run it again and open it in the new window, and notice it says Avengers up in the tab, which I like. A little OCD thing. Notice there's a space here that's underlined. Let's take a look at that. Notice where I have Captain America, the First Avenger. Let's see. Go back and remove that space there. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, that's better. And I can put the space here just in case. And let's see. Yeah, that looks better to me. Now notice the space in between those words is a part of the link. Let me check the link one more time. Wow, it just works. I feel so powerful. Gosh, don't you miss this class? Anyway, I can link more, and I could do the same thing for Iron Man. Okay, so let's get to styling. All right, I put some links in the lesson, but to style the background, you do it within the body. Okay, so here's how inline styling works. You do style equals background dash color, and then you can pick any color you want. There are some built-in HTML color names. Notice I picked Dodger Blue. Okay, so I can use any of these colors, which are fantastic. I was curious to see this. Here's the colors of the year, 2019. Okay, notice I can do dark cheddar. You can also use this hex color, this code right here. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to go to this what was that called? It's called Galaxy Blue. So someone designed this cool Galaxy Blue color, and notice here is the color right there. So I'm going to copy that hashtag to A4B7C. That is basically code for the RGB colors. And I'm going to, in my body, do style equals quote. I'm going to do 2 quotes just so I don't forget to close it. Background dash color colon, and then let me paste in that code right there. And with styling, you finish with a semicolon because you can do additional things as well. So let me try running this. And notice I do have that nice dark color. Okay. I want to point something out. In the body, if you do just color, what that does, you might notice, it applies that color to all the different tags. So the H1, H2, and the paragraph all get that same color. So generally, you do the background. Oops. Push that again. Normally in the body, you just do the background, and it's background dash color, and that way. Okay. Generally for backgrounds, that's kind of dark, which might be fine for some of you. Generally, you might want to pick something a little lighter. So I'm going to go with this little bit lighter version of this color. So that's the nice thing about these pages is you might think, wow, that's a cool color, but a little dark for a background. So I'm going to copy this hashtag CB5EB and paste that instead. That way my font can show it better. Okay, so that's kind of a nice light blue. All right, now I can style my H1 tag, okay? And let's take a look at the lesson. For font colors, you might have noticed you just use the word color colon and then the color. So I can use a basic color like white or yellow, and see the white and yellow right here, or I can use the hashtag colors from any of these color pickers. So let me style my H1 tag. So I'm going to do red there. So style equals quote, quote. I'm going to just do color colon red. And I'm going to do a semicolon because I'm going to do a font family in just a second to change the font. So notice now Avengers is in red. Okay, if I want like a fancier red, I can go to these color names. Okay, so that crimson's kind of cool. So these color names, I can use the hashtag DC143C, or I believe you can use capital crimson. So let me try that. So these are names that HTML does recognize. If you want some special color of red, you use the hashtag version. Notice it's a little bit deeper red. So there we go. Okay. Is anyone asleep? Get off your phone and pay attention to the lesson. Jeez. Okay. For fonts, you can do font family. So Times is kind of the built-in font. Arial is basically good for headings. So I'm going to do Arial on this. In printing, a serif font is like this font right here, where see the letter F, how it has lines on the bottom and the letter I, whereas a sans serif, sans means without, is there's no lines on here. So generally Arial's good for headings and Times is good for text. So I'm going to do font family Arial. Okay, so for my heading 1, notice I did color colon crimson, and then within the same quotes, font dash family, area. Let's see what that looks like. So notice now that's, oh wow, that's really nice. That looks fantastic. And I like that a lot. I'm going to style my H2. So I'm going to copy that and paste it into H2. For this, I'm going to, let's take a look at some colors. Let me find kind of a cool blue. Okay, that midnight blue is pretty cool. So midnight blue, I'm going to do that for H2. Okay, notice this is called inline styling. In this line, I style just this H2. So I'm going to do the same on the Ironman H2. At the end of the video, I'll show you another way to style them all at once. Let's take a look at the lesson. Okay, font style, italic. So I'm going to make those also italic. So notice Arial, this is H2, font dash style, italic. Okay, so let's see what that looks like. Very nice. So notice Captain America is three things. It's that midnight blue color, it is Arial font, and it's italic. Oh, by the way, notice midnight blue. Let me go over to the word midnight blue. You might notice this. If you spell it wrong, it goes to the default black. So if you use a color that's not recognized and or you spell it wrong, it will just go to the default, which is black. So notice I fixed midnight blue. It's better. Oh, okay. Oh, I want to show you another thing. For the H1, you can do a background color. So let me try this background color, paste that in, and I'm going to just do white, semicolon. Okay, and take a look at that. It do it in the, so you can add a background color to a tag. So H1 has the crimson text and a background of white. So basically it makes a banner. And I don't have a background color to H2. Okay. And if I like the H2 that I did, the styling, I can copy that style and paste it down here for Iron Man's H2. So let me run this and notice Iron Man is styled the same way. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let me style my paragraph for Captain America. So let's take a look here. Font family monospace is kind of like this right here. It looks like Courier font. Font family fantasy is kind of interesting. So let me do that for paragraph just for giggles. The first web pages were really ugly because people went way crazy, but right now we're just experimenting. Oops, let me do style equals quote, 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 font dash family, colon, fantasy, semicolon. Okay, so notice the paragraph, including my hyperlink, is styled with the font family fantasy. So it looks a little bit fancier. Notice the Captain America paragraph tag is styled like that. The Iron Man one is not. So let me grab this style and do the same for Iron Man's paragraph. Okay, so let me run that. And now notice Iron Man is styled the same way. All right. Now, hyperlinks you can style. Now, the original hyperlinks were always blue, and then they turn purple once you visited them, and they're always underlined. You probably notice most hyperlinks these days aren't underlined. So let's style our hyperlink so that it looks different. And the way to turn the underline off is its font decoration. How did I know that? I Googled it. Oops. I need to do style equals quote. Font decoration, none. Okay. Quote, that ends the styling. So let's see what that looks like. Let me run that. Let me check my, oh, there you go. Text decoration. So basically, in the lesson, I have an example. I need to fix that. Here is a hyperlink styled in the normal way. And then here's one with text decoration. So let me check that tag. And what did I have? Font decoration. It should be text decoration. Okay. With one T, let me run that. Notice it is no longer underlined, but it's still a hyperlink. If I click it, it still goes to that page. Okay. And then generally, you want it to stand out a little bit more than it did a minute ago. So I'm going to do font weight is bold, semicolon, color red, and font family Arial. And the last semicolon is optional, but it's kind of there just in case you want to add more tags to that style. So let's run this again, and notice these words stand out in red to give the user a hint that this is a hyperlink. So let me run it. So notice my normal paragraph is this fantasy text, and then here is here's my paragraph. Okay, and then finally, let's add. Let me run this again, and then get back to your page. Let me insert an image for Captain America, and this is something we did in last. So let me get image source equals quotes. Okay, and close that off. All right, let's go to Captain America. Here's some Captain America images. Let's see which one's kind of cool. How about this guy? All right, so I'm going to save image as, you save it to your desktop or somewhere. Notice it's a lot of words. I'm just going to call it cap, save to the desktop. Notice it's 800 by 800, kind of big. I'm going to resize it when it's in my web page. Let me go to my web page and see my file list. Let me upload a file from my desktop. There's cap.jpg. Let me make a new folder for my images. There we go. This is what I did in the second project. And I'm going to drag Captain America into images. So that way, you want to keep your images always kind of cleaned up all in one place. So we put it in a folder called images. Okay, what's the name of the thing again? It's called cap.jpg. And then let me add in the alternate text that you do, just in case your image doesn't load. And then let's give it a run and open it in the browser. Okay, I did this on purpose. Notice it's a broken image, but it does show the alternate text. Anyone know why it's a broken image from the last lesson? Well, notice Captain America isn't in the top level of my website. It is in the images folder. So I need to do images, images / cap, and then run it. And oh wow, he is ginormous. That is way too big. I wish I could change his size. Well, yes, you can. In the image tag, I can do height equals quote. Let's do 100 and see what that looks like. Okay, so that's kind of good. Maybe a little bit bigger. How about 200? It was 800, so that's like 1/4 the size. All right, not bad. And wow, there's my page. And I wish I could hyperlink that. I can. So I'm going to surround the image with a hyperlink. This is stuff we did in the last lesson. So in front of the image, I'm going to do the open anchor tag, and then here's the close. And let me just go ahead and link to that Wikipedia page again. So I'm going to grab that URL from the browser and put it right in here. So now make this bigger so you can see the tag better. Okay, and then I can add my 2 spaces. So basically, here's my image tag, and I resized it to 200 pixels just so it looks better. And then I surround the image tag with a hyperlink, and it should be linked there. So let me run it. And it's always good to test your links in the Open a New Tab browser. And there we go. I click on this picture, and there I am. So there is how to style a page. I think in the follow-up video, I'll show you a different way to style pages, but because this one's running kind of long. But basically, here we go. So notice I made a background color. I styled H1 with also its own background color for the tag and a font. I styled the H2 tag. I styled the paragraph with this fantasy font. And I styled my hyperlink different from my paragraph, so everyone knows it's a link. Notice it's not underlined by turning off the text decoration. And then I added an image and hyperlinked him. So kind of putting a lot of stuff together. Well, so basically there's 7.03. It could be any content you want, but try styling your tags, your background color, your paragraphs, your hyperlinks, and add a couple images to your page. All right, this is Mr. Hicks. Thanks for listening to this wonderful CSP lesson.